Hello and welcome to the Liz Experiment YouTube channel. This is the channel where I record field notes from my journey towards architecting my best life. It's been a few weeks since I recorded a video, and I am back in Fremont Center, New York, where I'm hunkering down for I guess for the foreseeable future until life kind of figures itself out. And this week I'm going to talk a little bit about, a lot about, I guess, my thoughts and feelings around life and how we're living it throughout the coronavirus. So, with that, let's get started.
Life's a foolish game. Do you ever feel the same? Well, maybe we could change. Turn the ship another way.
All right, y'all. So here I am back at the beginning. It's been a crazy few weeks, as all of you are experiencing, right? So I was in the Columbia River Gorge last time I came to you guys, or I recorded or talked to you guys through this thing we call technology. And had my birthday, March 12th. I'm recording on March 29th, 2020. And shortly thereafter, March 14th, coronavirus was declared a pandemic, and basically shit hit the fan for everybody around the world. I'm lucky enough to be back in New York State, upstate New York, with my family. So far, everybody's happy and healthy. Well, I don't want to say everybody's happy. I mean, those of you that know the Huberts, there's a lot of disgruntledness just in general, but everybody's healthy. I kind of made this great escape. I was staying out in Portland. Some of my house sits, all of my house sits got canceled because nobody's traveling. And so instead of going to Oakland, I was going to spend a month in Portland and just kind of wait it out and see if travel was going to pick back up or what was going to happen. And I quickly realized, as I'm assuming many of you are realizing, is travel's not picking up anytime soon. People aren't going to be needing house sitters anytime soon. Businesses probably aren't going to be hiring consultants or many consultants or consultants in the same way anytime soon. And so I decided to, and I was lucky enough to have the option to come back to my parents' house here in New York. Yes, I flew through New York City. Yes, it was somewhat terrifying. However, I will say, just as an aside, I flew Southwest. They were amazing. Every single person I encountered who worked for Southwest was kind and compassionate, and that was a cool experience. It was very, I had big orange gloves on and like my scarf on my face, and most people in the airport were traveling that way. But the people who worked for the airlines, at least for Southwest, were pretty awesome. So when travel does pick back up again, or if you have to travel anywhere to visit family and hunker down, I highly recommend looking to Southwest first. Okay, what have I been thinking about and working on and all that stuff? And it's kind of hard to say. I think all of us are going through our own version of grief and just figuring out what the F is going to happen next. And so that's a lot of what I've been thinking about. What's next for myself? What's next for the world? And I really don't know. You know, to be honest, I have no idea. This is such a worldwide, as we know, scenario that I personally been having thoughts as in, like, what does this mean for my life? What does it mean for travel? What does it mean for my business? What does it mean for my family? What does it mean for my friends? And everybody across the world is feeling some sort of that, if not worse, with fear of disease and death, or having to face disease and death. So because of that worldwide phenomenon, it makes my own concerns at times feel both insignificant and also shared all at the same time. So I think all of us are in this space, you know. So I think one thing I've been thinking about and really trying to pay attention to is the need for self-care. Like, I'm literally back in my parents' house. I have moved back in with my parents at 38 years old. And as part of that, I again, very lucky that I have that option. I've been sleeping a lot. I've been getting a lot of rest. I've been thinking about, and I think all of us who are quarantined, all of us, how do we, or quarantined or you know, self-isolating, how do you instill boundaries with the people who you're living with so that you can have your own peace of mind, but also be kind and compassionate and loving, because we're all going through it. So that's a lot of what I've been thinking about and working on. Um, and to be honest with y'all, it really happens moment to moment. So each moment is kind of like just everything we've been talking about. It's being aware of what I'm thinking and feeling, stopping for a second, asking myself what is the source of that thought or feeling, and bringing it back to understanding it so that I can either move through it and release that thought or feeling if it's not working for me, or magnify it if it's working for me and those around me. And that practice is so, so important right now, and so, so difficult because we're all feeling just out of sorts, out of our minds. Our kids are home. Our life is completely changed. Our family could get sick at any moment. We could get sick at any moment. But when I bring it back to those present moment awareness, what am I thinking and feeling and why? That's been helping a lot. But on the real, the biggest thing that I've been thinking and feeling and all of the ings is it really thoughts and feelings around, is my life, is the way that I've decided to live life possible? Like, is it responsible? I've been touting this, living the best, architecting my best life, and I'm going against society, and I'm not going to get married right now. I'm not going to have kids, and I'm not going to work the 9 to 5, and and I might cry actually on this episode, y'all. But it's like, and as soon as times got even remotely tough, I ran back to that life, not living it, but relying on people who have lived it, who have gone through the struggle of not wanting necessarily to live it, but understanding that in order to have a stable existence, they needed to live it. And so that's a big mind fuck. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It's a big, Liz, what are you doing? Like, who do you think you are? It's that inferiority complex. And why did you think you could live differently? What were you thinking? So there's that side of it. And then there's a side of me who's like, that's not me. It's not that I have anything against that way of living. It's just not who I am. And so those two sides of the coin have been fighting for the past several weeks. And they're going to continue to fight until I explore them in the same way that I was talking about before. It's like, it's a lot to think about. And I'd be interested to hear what y'all are thinking about with your own lives. Like, I look back at I'm looking at my life and I'm like, oh my God, like, Liz, you've been in business 10 years and you can't weather a pandemic. Like, who like that's even a thing. But guys, I'm just being real I'm being immediate with my feelings on the channel. That's how I'm feeling. Or it's like, everybody else has figured this shit out. You just settle down with somebody and you have somebody to weather the storm with. Like, what were you thinking trying to go this alone? So, a lot of thoughts and feelings and work around that area. And I think that's going to be driving probably my videos going forward. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the Liz experiment means going forward. I guess it's all just the Liz experiment. I'm not going to go get crazy on you. So what else? What else have I been working on? I guess the last and final thing is what I'm realizing, and I would think many of us are realizing this, is how this way of living is not going away anytime soon. I'm going crazy staying inside. Not that I wasn't doing that before, as you guys know, but it's more about, I think it's more mental than actually physically staying inside. Because we can walk outside. I'm in the countryside. I can walk outside. I can view things. But I think there's a lot of mental and emotional processing that we're all not wanting to face, which is why we put our busy lives in place to begin with. And I think going forward and doing that is going to be really key for me right now. And I'll talk more about that as I figure out how to do it. So that's it for this week. Just a little stuff this week. But yeah, that's it. Next week, I'm sure I'll be here in Fremont Center, New York. I would like to thank Hans Adam featuring Snowflake for the music that I use in the intro and outro. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have comments, thoughts, feelings that you're going through yourself, I want to hear them. We're all in this together. This is the experiment. This is the life experiment, not just the Liz experiment. So please let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to get these videos every time I post one, usually weekly, you could hit the subscribe button down below. And until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Be safe, be healthy, be well.